Hey guys, I'm Poach.
And I'm Rapha.
And today we're doing 10 questions.
Yeah.
Favorite Marvel hero would have to be Iron Man. I love the heroism that he has and then the persona that Tony Stark has.
My favorite Marvel hero has always been Spider-Man. I've just always loved Spider-Man growing up. The thing that drew me to Spider-Man, I think, is he's such an average, normal person who is like really struggling through life, and even with all these powers that he has, but somehow makes it through and saves the world at the same time.
My favorite food would have to be burger and fries. 2 patties, American cheese, ketchup, mustard, lettuce, a tomato, and maybe some mayo.
You know, I'm from the Chicago area, so it's gotta be pizza. And it doesn't matter whether it's deep dish, New York style, Italian, it's pizza's so good.
Choice of an exotic pet would probably be like some sort of non-harmful, like cheetah or tiger or something like that.
Damn it, it's gonna be mine. I think for exotic pet, probably have to go with like some sort of tropical like bird, like parrot or something that's like really colorful, you know, that's pretty chill. Because I already have a wonderful dog and cat at home, so might as well mix it up a little bit.
Favorite esports moment would have to be the basically start of my career. First tournament I was invited to from Epic. It was a kill race. It wasn't super competitive. However, that was my first taste of winning money and competing against other players in like a big tournament. Showing my parents that like I just won like this much from a couple games in Fortnite was like pretty crazy, and it was like just gave me like a drive for the remainder of my career.
I'd say probably my favorite esports moment has got to be the first time I won QuakeCon in 2009. I got involved with QuakeCon because my dad introduced me to Quake, and he played, and he had brought me to QuakeCon, and I like really pushed myself that year to try to win it in like remembrance of him, because he passed away in 2007. And so when I won that, it just was just such a good feeling to know that, like, you know, the guy who had believed in me that I could be good and I could do it, that I actually managed to make that come true.
Favorite game outside of Fortnite that I love playing? Definitely Counter-Strike. I've played it since I want to say like 2014, and I've put thousands of hours into it, and I think a lot of my skill in that game is transferred into other games, including Fortnite, and I think it's one of those games that if you can get to a high level in that, you can learn a lot from and carry over skills.
As far as my favorite game to play outside of Quake, actually, it's how I got started with Liquid. I started playing Overwatch. Most of Quake is determined by your own skill and what you do, but I think Overwatch requires a lot of teamwork because of how refined your skill box is with the heroes that you're using, and like how you all have to mesh together. So it provides like a really good mixture of FPS and MOBA. So yeah, I still love playing Overwatch, even though I haven't played it professionally in about 2 years now. When I was like 4 or 5, my dad and my grandpa used to always take me to the races where I grew up in southern Indiana, and we'd watch dirt track racing. But my great-grandpa would also go as well, so we had the whole generational lineup of myself, my dad, my grandpa, and my great-grandpa, and it was something really special to like get together on the weekends and enjoy that together, so really cherished it.
My favorite childhood memory I think would have to be, I think it was when I was 7, and at Christmas my parents had bought me original Xbox, which was like the first console I ever owned or played, and I at that age grew up playing Halo, which I probably shouldn't have, but it kind of gave me a love for first-person shooters, and I think it like definitely defined where I am at now in my career. My DPI for gaming is 800.
800 DPI, 1000 hertz.
I am normal and I play on the keyboard and desk.
So by Poach's standards, I'm not normal, and I play with a keyboard on my lap. I try to use more of my arm than my wrist. I used to play the normal style, but then I started having RSI problems. And so I tried a different keyboard and mouse setup that I saw some other players use, and it worked for me, and I've stuck with it for years. And I'm probably not changing anytime soon.
Adjusting tilt, I think, is a hard thing, especially if it's in the middle of a competition. I do my best to try to use it as like fuel for like more desire to play better. Depending like if it's in a team environment, I try like just holding it off and keeping it out of the game until like the end and like going over it with my teammates and or just going over it with myself later and trying not to worry about it.
You have to realize when you're playing, most of the time when you're angry, you're gonna start losing focus on the game and like rational thinking, and you're gonna do some emotional decision making that can lead to like snowballing effects of dying and or giving up control or, you know, just losing the map in general. And I think anger doesn't solve any problems. So I think just channel it as best you can into focus on what is next and trying to come back from that terrible scenario which you were, you know, getting upset at in the first place.
The toughest thing I had to teach myself was that you can be making the correct decision, but in a game like Fortnite, or there is like a lot more random factor, that players can get away with like stupid things, and it can affect you pretty hard mentally. If like you know you're making the right plays, but things just aren't going your way, and it's really hard, especially in like the face of a tournament when you're playing really well, but just if like certain things aren't going your way, out of your control, it's just super hard to maintain composure when like that tilt is just affecting you.
Hope you guys enjoyed the 10 questions with myself, Rapha, and Poach, and hope you guys enjoy watching QuakeCon. I'll see you there.